All right, it's time now to get real with real estate. We've got Justice and Andrew back here from RE/MAX. We're talking, of course, about size of your home. Size actually does count for something with buyers who are looking in the market right now. But before we get to that, I have to just say, nice November stashes.
It's coming along.
They're coming.
Excellent. And you've also got money on the Grey Cup?
BC.
Yeah, I guess.
Home team advantage.
Nice. Well, right now, as we were talking about, we're looking at the size of homes. Now, it can vary for a lot of different types of houses. So when we're looking at actually calculating home size and the importance of home size, I mean, how important is it to the buyers in the market right now?
Well, to buyers and sellers, size is one of those criteria that individuals are always considering when they're facing their buying or selling decision. Lots of times, if you're a growing family, you're looking to upgrade, to upsize, but it goes the other way too. Empty nest couple, maybe they're getting tired of paying the bills to heat rooms in the house that they're not using. They might be looking to downsize. When we talk about size of the house, well, we're talking about the measurement tool that we're talking about is square footage. How we calculate that, we're bound by certain rules of what we have to follow. Really, we can only consider heated, livable space above grade, and there's got to be a word of caution with that, however, because it doesn't take into account, good functional basements. And what can be confusing to a lot of buyers is you can have two different style of houses that are denoted as having the same square footage, and yet one could be considerably larger than the other. And I think Andrew could probably illustrate that.
That's right. I mean, when we look at, for instance, when we talk about bungalow-style homes, I mean, I think we're actually looking at 2 stories right now.
Right.
So we're looking at a 2-story home or bungalow-style homes, and we're looking at the footage calculation for that.
Right. Well, as Justice said, you count square footage above grade, as we can see there. So if you've got a 1,400 square foot 2-story, the first level would have your 700 square feet in a true story, of course, and your second story would have your other 700 square feet. So if you've got a usable basement as well, can conclude that you would have an additional 700 square feet for a total of 2,100 square feet. So for a bungalow example, though, if you've got a similar style square footage of 1,400 square feet, all that square footage would be on the main level. Now, with a usable basement for the bungalow, you could conclude that there'd be an additional 1,400 square feet for a total of 2,800 square feet. So
you could include that additional space in the bottom?
Well, not exactly. I mean,
okay.
Not in the listing, but in actuality, it's there. So what we just want to get across is, size is going to be one of those things that you consider when you're shopping for a house. But when you do so, just compare apples to apples, because different style houses, square footage is calculated differently. And on the flip side, if you're selling a house, be careful when you calculate the square footage.
Nope.
Just different, different style. We don't have to go into it too much here. Just there's a split level. There's all sorts of different types of houses, 1.5-story houses that come up, variations of every kind. But when you're calculating square footage as a seller, be careful. That's one of those things that we can get in trouble with litigation if you're misstating the size of a house. So just keep that in mind on the buying and the selling end.
Be cautious and don't read too much into the listing. Listen a little bit closely.
Yeah, and just look at the houses.
Absolutely.